Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. That is me, Atlas Murphy 17 on the screen, and I am reacting to my own maps today on the Far Cry 5 editor. I've become very familiar with the tools, so I thought I'd walk through and give you guys some tips and show you just how I created this darn thing. So you'll see right away in the thumbnail, I created a generic shape, and it's the exact same thing that we're looking here. However, I've removed it. I always thought it'd be a great idea to give people a cool thumbnail to look at so they choose your map. You know, there's a lot of competition out there, so give them something fun to look at. Here is a beginning intro. I think it's great to have a strong beginning and a strong ending, as you'll see at the end of the map. But first, I'd like to talk about the detail. You know, spend the time on the detail. I think, you know, take a walk outside. Take a look at what things look like out here. There's grass always growing out of concrete here and there. Graffiti here and there. I'm trying to make this place look like Gotham. Give it a dark feel in a beginning of Bruce Wayne's origin, you know, with his dead parents here. And now let's talk about scripting, because here you go. So he's teleporting here. You gotta be careful with your teleporting. Sometimes that can break your map, and hopefully and thankfully, actually, this is has worked out perfectly when I published it. So there's the intro again, as you've seen the intro generic shapes. Hopefully the player should use grapple hooks. I think grapple hooks, zip lines are a great way to tell the player where to go, because they just have these pop-ups, stuff like that. They catch their eye, and they've played this game. Hopefully they should know to look for it. So here I put a little bit of a comic book dialogue, you know. Spent some time, you know. I spent like a day, I think, trying to place down all these different items. For letters to tell the story here, exactly what the player's gonna do. So here I have like maybe 4 or 5 different water levels. I have one down here, one on this side, one on that side, and then another one that we're gonna come over to. Again, note like the detail, the different kind of lights. I'm trying to create different sections of this map here. So we have like the red area. That place was kind of yellow. You know, walking over here, it's gonna look a little bit different. It's green. Little detail, add a little jumping puzzle for the player. That's always a fun thing to do. I added scripting here to spawn a lizard, you know, as if he jumps right out at you. But I'm just gonna go ahead and throw a sticky. There he is, and he's out of here. So again, it's just a jumping puzzle, and then here's just a variation of the jumping puzzle, all within like a theme of a sewer. Right? And again, the zip line tells the player where to go. I think it's easy for them to spot something like that and know to go towards it. And I'm just going to go ahead and speed through. I really copied this game off the Arkham series, so, you know, hopefully a player can kind of, who's played that before, could really pick up on, you know, Batman goes through the vents a lot. So no, did you see that black little thing I put right there? As soon as I hop into the vent, the player kind of clips through the these ducts, kind of. See, and I put a black thing there so that the player couldn't see and clip through the map and see what's going on further into the game. Here's a little windmill with dust and spider webs. Just looks like a vent, you know. That's the imagery I'm trying to achieve here. Climbing up, you know, player sees ladders, they know that's where to go. Okay, so see there, I just clipped through the ceiling again. I didn't put a black thing there. I just noticed it now, actually, going through this playthrough. But now here, here's my goal. I want the player to look up, hopefully. So hopefully they see these dangling wires and give them the sense to look up. Because this is an elevator shaft. You can safely jump in here, but I want to give them the sense to look up, have dangling wires, something that attracts the attention upward. Here's another trick that I use. I use the grappling. Let me go back down to give this great impression, because your view is clearly blocked off as you're climbing. So when the player climbs up and does this animation, there's a good set right here. So I thought this would be an excellent opportunity to try my best, make it look like a dirty hospital. If you're familiar with Arkham, or a Batman fan, you should be, you know, familiar with Gotham being a dirty looking place, right? So here's a jumping puzzle. Again, hopefully this is the way that the player went, although you can go this way. Yep, there we go. Climbing, grappling. Should be able to climb okay. So again, I base this off the games a little bit, the Arkham games. So, you know, you can swing around, you can do whatever. stealthily to take down these guys. I think it's supposed to be Harley Quinn, if I remember. Yeah, there we go. I'm just trying to take care of these guys a little bit quickly. These guys went down, huh? Okay, everybody but these dogs. Sorry, dog, I gotta explode you. Gotta look away from that violence. Take a look at what I put on the floor here. A little arrow, a little subliminal message to tell you to go this way. Nothing I can really break down about this room besides object placement. Just be creative. Mess with your pivot points, stuff like that. Note the different kind of tiles. I put one generic tile shape and then another, like some kind of destruction with burnt decals. Trying to provide a backstory here. Something happened. I just put corpses here. Something happened here. You know, maybe the inmates are taking over. This is why Batman's here. Anything to build context and give the player something to ponder about as they're playing is really my goal sometimes. I'm not going to jump into all the villains right away because I know players love to kill, you know, AI a lot. I think that's really what it comes down to making an enjoyable map, is just being able to kill people, I guess, in a creative way, in a fun environment. Again, a tip of advice is just don't be lazy, take your time. I really had to take a time and design all of this stuff, but, you know, what I think a prison would look like, why is this stuff blocked off, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and get this. You know, the player has seen this before, the duct. And there's that little black wall right there, so the player can't clip through and see, you know, outside of the map. Using more spider webs for details, just taking my time again, don't be lazy. Sometimes I spend like up to three months on a map, you know? Not always, but... here's a hallway that I'm pretty proud of. I used these god rays or god light, I forget what they're called, in the light, just to make it seem like the stuff beyond here. It is blocked off, there's nothing for the player to see. Over here I use tire tracks. You know, people walk down hallways and push dust to the side, especially if this place is dirty and try to give off a creepy vibe, you know. That's the way to go. This effect you can walk through, however, I put an invisible wall, so the player cannot go through there. They have to figure out a way up. Hopefully they've learned to look up by now and grapple. Again, there's that little black thing, so the player doesn't clip through the wall. Let's drop down. I'm just gonna knock this guy out, huh? So here I put like cult sacrifice letters, something like that. They got a bunch of decals, and I just kind of clipped them through the wall. Victor Saz is a villain who marks his body, like he scrapes a little tally with a knife into his body every time he kills somebody. So he's, you know, all about tally marks. Like that's his thing. Fan who has paid commissions for maps suggested Professor Pig, and I was happy to put him in. Just include some pigs, making some themed maps here. Let's keep going. Again, the same hallway, copied it, altered it slightly. Didn't want to make it the same thing. Let's make it a little bit of a jumping puzzle, give the player something to do. Same hallway. This is supposed to be a penguin, hence the vulture marks, and he's in a little hole there. Yeah, I gotta admit, this room is not my best work because I was running out of objects. I think, you know, pretty much I was at 99% objects and effects. That's the Riddler, the only character that wears green, at least on the PS4. Take these guys out. Stay down. Alright. Let's keep it moving. And then, you know, I picked it up. I put the detail back into this room. And you'll see, anytime there's a villain, I'm trying to make it more of an experience. Players should know to climb up by now. And let's make it like a swinging game, you know? So the crap. This is not what I wanted to do. Great, let me heal up right quick. So again, put the detail, put the time in. I know it's a big area, but just spend the time. I think the players will appreciate it. And that's why this map, I think, has 4 stars. Coming up on 5. So thank you to 314 people who have played this, at least on PlayStation. I'm not sure about the ones ported out. So here, trying to give the player a sense of an open world now. So let's talk about that a little bit. Also, here's some scripting. I put some fire explosion. I put a destructible wall, and then these other wreckage-looking items. What I usually do, especially in war maps, is to people want to destroy a wall with an explosion, make it realistic, place this kind of stuff in the destructible wall. So that way when it gets destroyed, this is what's left over. It makes sense, for a wall to be crumbled like this. This is just an invisible wall. There's literally no other objects past this point. So let's go out here. It should be open world. I wanted to give the Batman player, time to plan out their attack all over this place. You can go pretty much everywhere. Actually, no, not really. Because that stuff, these buildings right here, I've moved their pivot points. We are looking at the edge of the map. I put trees and I put their pivot points way out there so that it gives this effect that there's stuff like further out there. And thankfully the city background helps with that as well. I would like to show you guys my skills in taking these guys down Batman style, but I do have to speed through this because I would like to show some other maps if I could.
Time to get to work.
Whatever. So again, I'm just going through this. I put it's a little too much grass going through the concrete and the bricks and stuff like that, but I'm still trying to give it like an old-timey vibe. I use these old 1800 buildings from what is it? Unity, Assassin's Creed Unity, and I stacked them on top of each other, added lights, make it look like it's a structure. People live in it. It's powered, stuff like that. I would like to have more budget to put more lights and stuff like that. But let's just finish it off with Poison Ivy. So like I said before, I wanted to start the game strong, memorable, and end it memorable in a memorable way. You know what I mean? So we have Poison Ivy here. I put damage, health over time in these like flowers in the mist. So to make it memorable at the end, we had Bruce Wayne's parents' death in the beginning for a Batman fan, and then we have the Batmobile at the end, and ta-da, the game is over with. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight on how I kind of build these things and how I like to, create this world for the player. Thanks for checking this out. I hope you learned something, and I hope to do some more of these in the future. Comment, like, and subscribe if you want me to keep doing this, and comment your maps so I can check them out.